Right. So talking about module one, so in for module one, actually, I have uh, asked like these three little tasks. The very first thing on the very first day of the semester, I would ask the class actually to go to this link that says how the course works and just give a quick look on this. I think the things are really straight here, but to highlight the main points. So this course uh, is divided actually into three different major components, in fact. So this course has like labs. So basically, there are 10 labs, each carrying like 6 points, so overall like 60. But in fact, lab 7 and lab 8, they're combined to make one. So later we'll be talking in more detail. So we can say that there are 10 labs, or we can say there are 9 labs uh, in this course. And there are a few, like about 5 participation tasks. So we'll talk them in a detail later on. And then we have 2 exams. So these 3 components, okay? So exams, the participation tasks, and the labs. So those labs have been the major component of this course. Okay. Yeah, I guess, I mean, if you go through that, it's very straight. I guess there is nothing, I guess, that requires like explanation at this point. But very quickly on the very first day, I'd like to highlight on the uh, late submission policy, basically. So as an instructor, I want that every student submit their assignments and tasks or the exams in time, but sometimes things might happen. So that's how you may fail to meet the deadlines. In that situation, uh, we will be a little bit considerate. Okay, so that means you can submit the late work, but that comes with some penalty. Okay, so basically there is a grace period of 12 hours, meaning uh, you can uh, you can submit you can submit within 12 hours after the due date without any deduction of the points. Okay, but 1 point will be deducted if you submit within 24 hours from the due date. If you have to submit, for example, between 24 and 72 hours, then the deduction will increase to 2 points, like that. And after 72 hours, meaning after 3 days, your assignment will be graded only out of half of the total grade. Okay, so that means uh, for the labs, your submission will be graded out of 3, and the same applies to the participation tasks as well. Okay, so this has been a kind of lateness policy. Uh, so this lateness policy actually doesn't apply to the exams though. 2 exams, uh, for the exams, there is no chance for late submission. Okay, so exams should be submitted. They should be submitted by the due date. Okay. Yeah, definitely there will be many reminders and announcements later on. I mean, as time comes. But for the exams, there is no flexibility like for the assignments, I mean labs and the participation tasks. Okay. Exams should be submitted without any exception by the due date. Uh, but still, the very, very well documented medical emergencies can be considered. So if somebody is in a really urgent situation, and then for that for that reason he or she misses the exam, then then some kind of makeup task or makeup exam will be provided definitely. But for ordinary reasons, ordinary circumstances, no chance. So this is one thing I just want to remind on the very first day. Uh, and other than that, things are very strict. So one thing I should say on the beginning is that for every assignment, okay, for every assignment or even for like midterm, I'm not able to input the actual due date. So that's why the due date should be understood very, very carefully. Okay, so me and my TAs will remind very regularly, but you guys also should remember this. Okay, so all these labs, all these labs are due in 1 week from the time of their availability. Okay, because there are three different sections. So if I put the due date for a certain assignment for one section, that will be not appropriate for the other. That's why for some reason I'm not able to put the due dates, the uniform due dates for all sections on Canvas, because the due dates are different for three different sections. So that's why one thing I want to remind on the very first day is, so for section one, assignments or the participation tasks are due on the by the midnight of Thursday the following week. Okay, for section two, assignments are due by the midnight of Tuesday the following week. And likewise, for section three, the assignments and the tasks are due by the midnight of Wednesday of the following week. Okay, so this applies to the participation tasks, the 9 labs, and the midterm exam. But for the final exam, there will be just one date, uh, which you can check. Uh, yeah, just one day, one date that will be the due date for every section. Uh, okay, so among other things, I think this is what I want to remind. Other than that, if we go to the modules and talking about module one, again, going to this, yeah, I had that's what I was saying. I have these three tasks. So go to this, how this course works, and take these quizzes, very straight. So this is again participation task. Okay, participation task. That's why it's not very difficult, not very hectic, or you don't really require a good preparation or readings to complete those. And another thing is, this is what we'll be explaining on the very first day, me or my TAs on the very first class meeting. Like the whole class will be divided into multiple groups of 5 members, not more than 5 members. And the way this course has been designed is that uh, every student will be working for one of the 5 cities. We'll explain later on. So that's why everybody has been assigned a group. Okay. Well, this is the first week, and I know, like, you know, there will be incoming students and dropping students, so I'll have to adjust. But later, I'll remind you guys that if you're not if you are not assigned any group, so please let me or my TA know. But yeah, everybody will be a part of a group, part of a 5 member group. Okay. And then you will be working together, but at the same time, you will be working on separate city. So that's why try to complete this task as well. So this is again participation task, very straight. So yep, this one and this another and one more little task I have listed is about like map reading, because this course is all about the digital mapping. Okay, digital mapping, meaning we'll be generating, creating, and designing digital maps. But before we really start working on creating our own maps, let's orient ourselves through the reading of some maps. Okay. So I have listed there are two what we call thematic maps. Okay. Over here. So I'm asking you just to spend a few minutes to read these two maps and answer some of these, to answer these questions. Okay. It's a straight. I'm checking your like prior knowledge. Many things are really intuitive. If you are not if fully able to understand like how the maps should be read at this point, not to be worried about much, because you will be working on this throughout the whole semester. But in the beginning, I just want to kindle your kind of uh, curiosities and kind of interest on the interpretation of maps. Okay, through this exercise. This is, I think, all about uh, module 1. Oh, all right. So, yep. So take some time to complete these 3 participation tasks. Definitely on the class meeting, we'll be helping you guys on all of these there. So me or my TAs will be there in the class, and we'll talk about those things in detail. So module 1 is just a kind of, uh, overall, in a way, a little bit overall review and breaking the surface. Okay, for now, it should be it, I guess. So I would say thank you, and we'll talk again.